What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Restoration Rundown Podcast, the podcast that's dedicated to you, the restoration and cleaning business owner. My name is Ben. I'm your host, and I'm also the CEO of Ironclad Restoration Marketing, where I help restoration and cleaning business owners all across the world get more leads just by getting their internet marketing right. Speaking of restorers, today we've got some very special guests coming on from a titan in the industry. You may have heard of them. They're a great restoration company nationwide, I believe, and I think they're even going international pretty soon. I want you to welcome on Jason and Diane from Core Group to the podcast. Guys, how's it going? Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. Listen, I really appreciate you guys. I know how busy you are. I mean, the massive size of your company, everything you've got going on. We spoke a little bit pre-show about, the wildfires and the hurricanes coming, and we're in storm season. I'm in South Florida, so I totally understand. I appreciate your time. So for everybody out there that's listening that might not know who you guys are, I'd love to start off and have you guys introduce yourselves. Give me a little bit of your background in the industry and kind of where you guys fit in with Core. I guess we can start with Diane.
Sure. Diane Goheen. I am the Vice President of Marketing over at Core Group. As you know, yes, very busy, especially with our annual conference coming up, which is amazing. But I got my background actually in restoration back in 2004. Prior to that, I was a personalized agent for insurance. So kind of got my start there and wound up getting into restoration by having a loss on my own home. Oh. So, kind of dove into that and loved it. Actually worked in South Florida for a little while. I'd moved around a little bit. So started in Arkansas, went to South Florida. And so now I am in Austin at the headquarters. Unfortunately, Jason is out in Florida, but we get to talk all the time. So we love it.
You're in my neck of the woods, Jason.
I am. Yeah, just north of you, I think.
Where are you at?
Cocoa Beach.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah, you're in a nice spot. Yeah, you're a couple hours north, but that's just as nice as we are down here in Palm Beach. So Diane, you started off on the insurance side. That's awesome. I mean, what a great segue to get into the biz, working on that side. However you may feel about that side, everybody listening. Jason, what about yourself?
So I'm Jason Gilstrap. I'm the Executive Director of Contractor Operations for Core. I got started in construction about 27 years ago, and I started like most people, pushing a broom and carrying lumber and doing odd jobs, and just took advantage of every day and learned more and more and got to where I am today. So got into restoration about 15 years ago, kind of came into it backwards. I started on commercial and large loss and then kind of evolved into residential. And so that's kind of my background, and here I am now with Core.
So we got to know you guys a little bit, but I want to get to know Core a little bit. As I dove in doing a little research, you guys have a lot going on. I want you guys to run me through kind of the background of Core, kind of what you guys handle, because we have a mix of people that listen. We have cleaning contractors that are just doing that kind of stuff, but we have a lot of restorers that are just starting out. So I want to get to know Core a little bit and then maybe talk about some of the ways that you guys skyrocketed to the success you're seeing now. I mean, you mentioned you're in Maui, you're in California, you're all over the place with the cat stuff, and then you're in Florida, obviously, Arkansas, Texas. So walk me through the background of Core, how it started, where it kind of does, and what you guys really do there. And then we'll go into a couple questions on how you got there.
Sure. So Dan Goheen, our CEO, actually, don't know if you're familiar with him yourself, but he has been kind of, as you said, a titan in the industry as well. Been in the industry for over, I don't want to give him that much, but over 20 years, I'll put it that way. Over 20 years in the industry, and he found an opportunity to just make things better for contractors. So what we do is we're a member franchise group, a network, but we like to call them members because nobody likes the F word. So, but we give them the opportunity to maintain their independence. So I think that's what makes us different. We work with them. We're a contractor advocate, obviously. And I think that is really what has propelled us in this industry, is just by being, an advocate for the contractor. You see a lot of these managed repair networks that are beating up the contractors over little things. And so we took kind of that and spun it around a little bit. And so we work with high net worth carrier and commercial only. So that helps us kind of help the contractor where they're not getting nickel and dimed and beat up for every little thing. Yeah. So higher caliber, client, higher caliber contractor. And it's not easy to get on our program. We don't accept everybody. That's another thing, I like to refer to ourselves sometimes as like the country club of contractors, because that's really what we do. They have to go through a vetting process. They have to go through a member vote, actually. So, if they have a reputation in the industry, we have to go through their Google reviews. We have to go through their social reviews. So there's a big process to get onto our program, but we only want best of the best. And I think that is definitely what sets us apart in this industry.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. We do work on the agency side. We work with some franchises, and that's always something that, I notice in some of the groups that are on Facebook and whatnot when people are looking for a franchise to go with. So it is a little refreshing to hear, that you guys are advocates for the contractors. So I want to talk a little bit about that before we get into Jason and kind of his role here with CORE and what they're doing here as far as the actual services you guys are providing in the States. So when somebody's looking to choose a franchise, what are some of the things that they can look for? There's a ton of options out there, obviously, right? So what makes you guys different outside of the advocacy that you guys are doing for the contractors?
Sure. So a lot of what we do here is we really promote community. And that's not just talk. We really do. Every one of our events that we have, so again, for our collective event, we do have some member only sessions. When we're launching CORE University, we will have some member only opportunities for that. So we really do tout that community within our group. But then we also, not just that, but we have myself, my team, we actually work as their marketing agency. Okay. So as you know, in the restoration industry, sometimes you have a marketing person, sometimes you have a salesperson, sometimes you have a biz dev that does it all. Right. So for those people that, they just don't have the time, or they're like, how can, I don't want to spend thousands of dollars, going into this marketing agency. As a member of CORE, you get to utilize me and my team for that. So we help with anything from, display graphics to banners to stationery to, you name it. We've done apparel, business cards, and we do it at best industry pricing. Then we have our CORE Perks program, which is our buying program. And so I know on that side of things, they've even said to some of our vendors that we want to get better pricing than anyone else in the industry. We want to be able to offer that to our members internally. So we have that opportunity to do that, which is amazing. And then, of course, on Jason's side, we have some, operational efficiency consulting that we offer to our members free of charge. If you're not a member, you can still utilize that, but you will be charged for that. But as a member, you get this value add. We also have IT support. So all of our IT teams, we have an entire team. I think we've got 12 to 15 on our team right now that can help with all of our members as well. So they contact me, want something with their website, need some internal IT support. We add that as well. So, and all of these are value adds to our members. So we have, and then, the list goes on. So I can go on forever, but those are the main points that I know people love to hear about and usually need the most help in.
All right, I'm sold. How do I sign up? No, no, it's great to hear because a lot of the franchises don't really, they leave out, and I don't think it's done on purpose. I think it's a lack of knowledge in the industry, and it's why I do what I do with a lot of the education side. They just don't know, and people are set up to fail in a sense. So it's great to hear that you guys are kind of building them a pathway to being able to, hey, you want to use an outside agency for whatever it is, for SEO, for Google Ads, for landing pages, whatever. It takes quite a decent chunk of money. But to do so, you need to have a pathway. You need to build yourself up to that point. It's almost like people taking on TPA work to then move on their own. It's a means to an end. So that's great. And that is a really good, from a marketing side, what I'm looking at, that's a really good benefit so anybody out there that may be thinking about jumping in or joining in with CORE, that's I can definitely vouch for that if that's the case, because that is not the case oftentimes in your world.
Sure.
So Jason, talk to me, man. So what's going on? Talk to me a little bit about, CORE's processes, I know we talked beforehand. one of the things I like to do on all these episodes is identify some problems in the industry. Specific, a lot of them are very common. So to help people deal with, managing those problems, maybe expect the problems to come at some point. But I wanted to touch on 3 major issues you're seeing nowadays, then possibly maybe 3 ways that you guys have overcome it as, from CORE's perspective.
Well, I think first and foremost is the labor market.
Yeah.
we're seeing a drastic labor shortage, and it's everywhere. It's no particular place. It's everywhere. And I don't anticipate that to get any better, which was really one of the driving factors behind Core University. The only way you can solve that is become better at developing the employees you already have.
Yes.
And that's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know. There's a lot of guys, they would love to develop their own talent. They just don't know how.
Yeah.
So we wanted to create an avenue to show them, create that pathway for them for true employee development to really build their staff and make them successful.
Yeah, so you're doing that. I know we haven't really talked about it, but I guess you spilled the beans, the Core University you guys have going on. So I know that, when we connected, we talked, and actually just yesterday I recorded with John Isaacson from Diojo. He does a lot of stuff. He just published a book on helping massage that labor pool and try to help businesses develop these labor pools and kind of empowering youth that may be looking to break into the industry or maybe just don't know what they want to do with their lives on some core fundamental mentality and mindsets that you need to have to kind of bridge that gap between the generation that's out there working, boots on the ground to bringing in that new help. And we're seeing it on my construction company side as well. And what we're seeing is some of our regional associations and national associations are putting together these educational groups that are going to educate the market about what the industry really is and then actually give some skilled trade training. So I want to, since we talked about it already, I want to learn a little bit more about Core University. I know it's on a lot of people's radars. I've heard you guys come up quite a bit, but let's shift gears to that. So I think it's a great thing. Education is paramount. It's why I do what I do here. So talk to me about what Core University is, maybe how people can get more information about it. I'm going to throw some stuff there on the bottom and tick. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to get some links here to their main site.
So Core University really started out as just a tool, a resource for our members and affiliates, right? And we started with just simple IRCRC certifications, and then we just started thinking we got to be able to do more. I mean, there's more, and we knew we had all these amazing partnerships with these industry leaders, and all these leaders have their own training content.
Yeah,
but it's not always easy to find. We were talking about that before the show. So instead of building a site to compete with all of our partners, let's build a site to feature them prominently, make it easier for their content to be found, and really create a marketplace of opportunity to where anyone, employee, owner can go in there and find career training to better themselves both personally and professionally, really regardless of the size of their pocketbook. And, every day there's a new opportunity that comes to the table for Core U. We're even talking to companies about offering GED and high school diploma courses through the platform.
Wow.
So we really want to stress not only the professional development side, but also the personal development side as well. So it's really becoming an amazing platform.
Now, is Core University, and forgive my ignorance of this, is this something is exclusive to Core Contractors, or is something that's being launched out to anyone that's interested in learning?
It's actually anyone, and it's, even though it is more suited towards restoration, there's benefit for almost any small business.
Yeah, I can see that for sure, especially in the service-based industry. Again, to go back to this, I know, Diane, you mentioned something about, Core bringing in a sense of community. One of the things that we preach all the time, I do a no BS internet marketing plan for restoration contractors a couple times a year as things come in. I think I've revised my same book 4 times now, just because all the changes with Google. But one of the big things that we talk about is this digital omnipresence method. And what it means is it's not just from a digital marketing perspective, SEO, website, Google ads, buying leads. It's getting involved in your community. It's getting involved with other restorers in your community. And rather than looking at people like competition, you're looking at them as peers that you can learn from, whether good or bad. You can always learn from somebody else. So I think it's really important that you guys are doing this and you're at the forefront. And then you're also launching this university to, it does a lot of things, right? So there's the black and white, hey, you're going to learn a lot of different techniques and trades and skills. But at the same time, now we're going to connect you with other people. Now, if you're not even involved in the industry, you have a knowledge base to help bring in these new generations, right? The Gen X, Z, Y, whatever that they want to call them nowadays. To bring in to learn about it a little bit more. So has Core University fully launched yet? Or you guys really, or is that something that's coming up soon? Or we just kind of?
collective
Yep.
at our conference. And yeah.
So is that what that background's all about? So you guys are sitting in front of?
Yeah. It is.
So talk to me a little bit. We're jumping around, but it's okay. This is the nature of this show. It's the ADHD restoration rundon.
So lots to cover.
Yeah. So talk to me about a little bit about the collective. So that sounds like you guys are going to be premiering a bunch of stuff. So tell me about the collective, how that came about, what it's all about, and I've got some info here for people to check it out as well if they're watching on YouTube.
Sure. So the collective is CORE's annual conference. We've done it every year. The very first one we had was CORE taking off, and we did a whole retro theme. So we had flight attendants and captains. It was really cool. The whole entire thing. I mean, down to like the napkins. All the details you'll see there. We had a chair that had, we even bought a window seat of a plane to sit next to. So like an Instagrammable moment.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, so every year is a theme, and this year's theme is festival theme. So if you think Coachella, Burning Man, any of those types of festivals, ACL, here in Austin. And so it's our annual conference. And basically what we do is we just try to, again, bring that community, that restoration community, but it's a carrier and property restoration festival. So that's something that, again, we try to always set ourselves apart. We're always trying to look ahead and what can we bring to our industry that they really want. So we do have a lot of carriers, our own carriers that come in. They want to come in. They love coming every year. And they sit on high net worth panels. They go and talk into sessions. They go sit in the sessions to learn what the contractor is learning, sit side by side just so they can learn, hey, what are they teaching them at CORE? What is it really what they say they are? So, we have a number of sessions. We try to keep it fresh every year. We try to change the faces every year because I think anyone in the industry knows you do see the same faces a lot of the time. And so even if they are some of the same faces you see, we make sure that they always have fresh topics. We're not talking about the same thing every year. So we always say, bring us a new topic if you want to get in. So we also have a process on that. You do have to submit your call for presentation and have those sessions. So lots of educational sessions. But we do have a really unique fit as well, is that we have different elements to it. So we have our planning, our execution, our strategy, and wellness aspect to ours. So this year in our trade show, we even have a CORE spa. So we're going to have some massages. We're going to have, oxygen bar. Yeah.
I'm coming.
Heavy mobile unit. I mean, all the things. So we do yoga every morning. Start the day off. If whoever wants to get up that early gets to do yoga every morning. This year they're incorporating sound baths to start your day. Just kind of get focused and then come into be ready to see these. We have an amazing keynote speaker, Joey Coleman, this year. So he's going to be really neat. We have a new addition this year, which is a philanthropy piece to it. Rock Solid, which is they build play structures for kids with disabilities. I'm sorry, kids with cancers, not disabilities, but kids with cancer. The owner, Eric, he actually was a cancer survivor as a child. And so that is a big passion of his. So we're going to see that this year. And then we basically have one big pool party every year. But we moved to the JW this year because we grew out of our last hotel, but we couldn't have the pool party there because we had too many people. So now we're going to have it across the street at this really neat place called Fairground and set up like an entire festival. So we'll have bands, DJs, everyone, we tell everyone to dress up in their favorite festival outfit. So every year we send out inspo ideas, let them know what they can do. And lots of surprises that we can't all spill until you're there. So
man, that sounds amazing. And I was looking at your lineup. You guys have 44 or so guest speakers coming in, and that's a lot of education to be packed in a few days. I mean, that's incredible.
It is. It is, and it's great. I mean,
anybody to note that we can plug out there that. Yeah. I mean, 44 is quite a bit. That's great. So congratulations. I mean, it seems like this has grown. I mean, I'm now. Talk about FOMO. I was already having FOMO that I couldn't make it out there, but I'm definitely gonna have to put this in the calendar.
I was gonna say next year, July. So
I'll definitely block it out. I don't know. I may get a wild hair and fly out there for a couple days next week.
Won't regret it.
You should. Why not?
I know. And maybe we can do the launch of this episode, and we'll do a launch and we'll do a live podcast out there. But we'll talk afterwards.
I was going to say we have that as well. So we actually have Head, Heart, and Boots, and then Michelle over at CNR. They're going to have their own media pod, so they will be actually broadcasting live there. So
nice. I love those guys.
There's not enough to tell you about. We've got so much; it's hard to explain everything in one short time frame. So yeah, you just have to come to experience it because there's just literally every corner has something going on. So yeah,
you guys are really going to stand out compared to all the other conferences out there with sound baths. I mean, the only sound bath I get in the morning is beeping horns and people yelling to hurry up in traffic. And I guess you can change your day around a little bit by having some nice music or something starting off your day, right?
Absolutely.
It's definitely not your traditional restoration trade show.
No.
Yeah.
Well, the times are changing, and it's funny that we keep going back to this kind of stuff with these different generations, and when we're talking about the labor pool shortage, and there's still children being born, there's still kids turning 18 that have no idea what they want to do with their lives, and unfortunately, not everybody could be a YouTube star or an Instagram sensation. So the reality is, our skilled trade, in the service industry or construction industry are slacking everywhere. So it's really cool that you guys are doing it. And it's another way it looks like CORE is helping bridge that gap and hopefully educating the world about what it is that you do and making it a little bit different. Now, from a restorer side, and Diane, I'm going to talk to Jason specifically about this when you have tons of experience in the industry. How important is it for restorers to be involved with conferences like this? Because I know a lot of guys out there are like, I'm not going to waste the time. I'm too busy. They're dealing with the day-to-day. Yeah. They're not going to go out unless they got a big team and they want to go party for a couple of days. Talk about a little bit when the people out there that might be against this kind of stuff and why it's important for you to get involved.
Well, so last year was my first year at CORE and also my first collective. My day one at CORE was first day at collective, so I got right into the fire. But the one thing I noticed immediately was the difference in atmosphere at collective versus other industry events. We've all been to them, and they can become very cliquey, and this group is with this group, and this group, and I didn't see that at all at collective. And that's just everyone is just enjoying each other's company, discussing ideas and concepts and just having a great time. And it's very open. It's just a great atmosphere for people to learn from each other and network and just grow. It's totally unlike any other show out there for sure.
Yeah, it seems like it. And every year it's in Austin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So man, FOMO is really kicking in strong.
It's unlike anything you'll ever go to.
Are people
circling back to that sense of community too? That's something that we all do as even CORE team members, and we'll see our CORE members do the same thing. Is we don't just let the guy that's sitting in the corner sit by himself. Yeah. Someone is always reaching out. Hey, do you know anyone? What are you doing here? Who are you? Who are you with? Yeah. We don't care if you're, a member, another franchise, a vendor, a carrier adjuster, takes all kinds. And we're just like, hey, let me introduce you. What's your location? What's your market? We can get you in contact with someone. So we really do try to make sure that anyone does get some kind of benefit, and they just don't feel isolated while they're there, because as you said, you're not going to get the most out of it. You're not going to be able to be most engaged if you're not out there just putting yourself out there and getting as much as you can from that conference.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I'm really impressed by everything you guys have going on, just from the restoration company side, the culture that you guys seem to be creating within your company, and all these exciting things you have coming up. So you guys are launching the CORE University officially at the collective. Man, It's just another reason to be there. So there's not a lot of info out there that's legitimate in this world. I spend a lot of time just trying to buck the system and really talk about what really needs to be done. And I can only speak from the marketing and culture and leadership standpoint, because a lot of that stuff ties in together. So it's really cool. Again, what you guys are doing, I applaud you. I don't have any kind of sound effects, but if I did, I'd be playing some applause right now. Is there anything else you'd like anybody listening to know about CORE, maybe how they can get involved, or some resources that they can talk about if they're maybe dipping their toes in the water a little bit all that you guys can share? I
mean, like I said, feel free to come to our website. I know you gave that earlier on the tick. It's gowithcore.com. Go to the contractor tab, find out more about it, what we're about. if you ever have any questions, feel free to just email info@GoWithCore, and someone will get you to any question you have. We have an amazing member concierge specific to members and people that are interested in becoming a member. That she's amazing. She works with everyone, and she can always find any answer for anyone within like 5 minutes. So
that's awesome. Hey.
Or less. If she doesn't already know it, actually. So, but yeah, so you just, like I said, go to info@GoWithCore, or just go to our website and reach out, find us. Contact me if you'd like, Diane.Goheen@GoWithCore. I'm happy to, reach out, Jason.Gilstrap@GoWithCore. Anybody that wants to know more, find out about us, get more in the weeds of it, we're happy to discuss.
Or now even, you're a week and a half away. Come to the show. If you want to see us in action, come to the show.
Yes.
Yeah, speaking of which,
you'll be a believer when you leave.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, we've got a promo code for anybody out there that's thinking about jumping on and wants to save a little bit of money. It sounds invaluable, so I don't think it's whatever the money is, it's worth spending. As a business owner out there, I can attest to it. These conferences are so important to go to network. Joining associations, joining in and getting to know people like Jason and Diane here and everybody that they've got going on. I know you guys mentioned you're having the Floodlight Group, the Head Hearts and Boots guys out there. We've had them on a few times on the podcast. We're getting ready to have them come back on again. If that's a reason alone to just go there, because their leadership training and the insight that they have just with their backgrounds in the carrier side and being able to help you. I mean, it's all it is trying to help you guys out, get more sales, grow your business the right way, try to avoid some of the missteps that you're going to take. It's going to happen. So what better way to learn from people that have been there and done that? And it's refreshing to hear there's so many people that are as like-minded as we are here at Ironclad and the Restoration Rundown, because that's all we're here to do. Is we're here. We're not here to feed you what you want to hear. We're here to cut through the BS and let you know how you really need to grow your business. And we're all learning at the same time. So having guys on like you guys and all these different guests are really helpful for everybody out there. But I mentioned a promo code. Who wants to save $200 on registration for the Collective 23? Check out the promo code Ironclad 200. You're going to get $200 off your registration, and that's $200 more you can spend on drinks and maybe some raffles and stuff like that at the Collective.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to share with everybody before we wrap this up?
No, I say, if you can come register. Yeah. As you can see the dates here, or on this side, I guess, August 30th to September 1st. You won't be disappointed. Please come. Like you said, the Head, Heart, and Boots guys, they're actually doing a general session this year. So we've got also trainings. So if you're not, outside of the breakout session, we also have trainings on Core University. We'll have live trainings there on Core University, Symbility, pretty much any platform that you can think of, we'll have the training there. So definitely come. Make sure you take advantage, be engaged, take advantage of all the options that are there, not just the fun stuff. The fun stuff is just a bonus, and trust me, it is fun.
We gotta learn.
The education alone is, as you said, invaluable. So
yeah. No, yes. I 100% agree. I think, if you're listening to this and you're on the fence, just go learn. And if you can't make it, keep the Core University in your radar. I know hopefully I'll have a little bit of some contributions there on the marketing side, on the digital side that I can help everybody out with. And as you know, if you're listening to this, I'm always available to reach out with, if you have questions. Guys, remember, go to thecollectivebycore.com if you want to register. Use the promo code Ironclad200. I don't get anything out of this. I just really want to help you guys out and get there so I can feel more like I'm missing out when everybody gets to go there and have a good time. While I'm in the office plugging away, learning Google's 8,000 algorithm updates they've had this year so far. I'll throw that promo code back on. If you're just listening to this on one of the streaming platforms, go over to YouTube. This will be live when this and have this promo code. You can check this out on YouTube or LinkedIn after the fact, after it airs. Guys, I cannot thank you enough for coming on. I know you guys have a ton going on getting ready for this conference. So we're going to cut it a little short today. Make sure you guys check out the Collective, check out Core University. They have some amazing things coming up. I can't thank you enough, Jason and Diane. We will have you guys on after the Collective, I think, or if you guys want to come live from the Collective during the festival or something and have make people feel more bad for missing it. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll have you on. We're going to do some deep dives into some of the stuff. I've taken some notes here, especially on the contractor side, Jason. I want to pick your brain a little bit to see if we can help some people out and drive them in the right direction. All right?
For
Absolutely.
sure.
Great having you guys. All right, everybody listen out there. Don't forget to check out Core. And until next time, we'll talk to you then.